Welcome back. Hip-hop Banzula, double HP, Jabba. Jabulani Tsambo was known by many names. He also gave hip-hop outfit Morafe its name. He may not have started the Motswako genre, but his style set the tone for the likes of Fifi Cooper and Casper Nyovest. You and I knew him as a musician, but what was he like as a child, and what influenced him to become the superstar he became? With us to talk about all of this, the life of the musician, we're joined by musician and producer Prof, Morafe's Lection, and musician Max-Hoba. Gentlemen, a very good evening to all three of you, and thank you for coming in to speak to us on what is a very difficult week. And I want to begin with you, Prof, because you, I understand, grew up with Jabulani Tsambo. What was he like as a child?
Well, Jabba grew up under me, but for all of us, we're from Mafikeng, so we basically grew up with each other. There's no person who could say, no, he grew up after me or whatever. Like, we're all raised as one. That's how nice and knit that place is and what it meant to us. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. Like, it's hard.
So at what point, and I want to stay with this childhood a bit longer, at what point did everyone in the community, the likes of yourselves, realize that, hold on, wait a minute, there's talent here, there's a superstar here?
Well, with us, talent has been there, like, in us, like, ever since. So we knew who's going to blow up. It was just a matter of when this one is going to blow up or when that one is going to blow up.
Max-Hoba, let's bring you in. So where do you meet the great double HP in all of this?
I met Jabba in late 2000, early 2001 in Brixton. I just moved from East London, actually, and I moved to Joburg. And fortunately, we became friends within the first month of me moving to Joburg, you know, and one of the days we were playing Nintendo, not PlayStation. and he was like, hey man, you sing, I rap, so why don't we just do this thing, you know, and see how far we can take it. And we started doing small shows at the university at Rao, now UJ, you know, and everything just started unfolding, and we started writing more music together. He introduced me to Morafe, he introduced me to Prof and them, and I guess I also became an adoptee of Mafikeng, yeah.
And Lection, was that how you also experienced him? I mean, Max-Hoba describes a pretty much seamless transition from meeting to becoming friends to gigging together. Is that how he was with everyone?
That's the thing, yeah. He made everybody feel very comfortable, you know. Like, he never made you feel like you're in the presence of, or greatness or a celebrity or anything like that. Like, when you met him, like, you feel like you've known him for long, and that's the thing that he had. He would make you feel like we family, we one. So, and then when the music follows, it's just a natural process. You know, it doesn't take you a while to kind of get his vibe or whatever, you know, because you already clicked naturally. So lyrically, I mean, come on.
Prof, talk to us about the Verbal Assassins era, late 90s. Here is this teenager, big dreams to make it in music. How does it all play out from there?
I remember the first time when I saw the video. I just laughed. I just laughed because, like...
Was it that bad?
No, not that bad. Like, I was like, Jabulani, you know? Like, really, yeah. You know, so from Verbal Assassin, and funny enough, I got to work with one of the guys' brother who was in Verbal Assassin, Iggy Small's brother, Twigs, was in Verbal Assassin with Jabba. So later on, we'd get to work together, and at the same time, that's when Max-Hoba and Jabba came, and we actually did a song, the three of us, you know.
And what was that like? I mean, when you look at 1997,
yeah,
when all of the developments around Verbal Assassins are playing out, to where he finally became the superstar that we knew as a Motswako icon.
Jabba's a hard worker, and every time you deal with him, it was like, yo, nja, like, there's this beat that I got, or this is what I want to do. So he never stopped working. That's one thing about Jabba. He never stopped working. He'd even, like, just drop you a message and say, I've got this idea, or you need to come through, or listen to this, tell me what you think, you know.
So, Max-Hoba, in those early days, I mean, Setswana rap wasn't a big thing when the likes of Double HP and Morafe came about. Was there ever any fear that it would flop, given that everyone was still very much influenced by what the Americans were doing at the time?
I think there wasn't really fear that it would flop. You know, it was more about when is it going to happen. You know, because at that point, Cape Town hip hop was coming along nicely. You know, the likes of POC, they were already set the bar, you know. The likes of Bafikile had already set the intro into Motswako, you know. So it was just a matter of when do we then get into the limelight? Because at that time it was Kwaito, it was gospel music and what was known as international, which is house music, you know. And our first battle, actually, our biggest battle was being accommodated in Joburg by Joburg rappers, and which happened. And then once that happened, everything started unfolding, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Lection, you were not there at the time, but how did
I was in nappies.
how did the journey then traveled by Double HP and the Max-Hobas then influence you? And I'm interested in how Double HP in particular has influenced your work and your product.
Well, I like the freedom in the music, like, and I could tell that he was having so much fun in the studio, you know, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make music that I wanted to do, you know. I wanted to make. I didn't want to be boxed. I didn't want to be told how to rap, and so every time I heard his bars and the content, and it was the language that we grew up speaking, you know, I mean, like, it's Maftanian. So I was like, hey man, so he's making it win this, so I don't have to really rap in English. I don't have to try to fuse in a bit of Zulu, because, you know, I sucked, you know, with the accent as Zulu. So, and then when he popped up, I was like, oh, finally, he's been accepted. So let me follow suit, you know. So yeah, give Mandela wa Motswako.
The Mandela of Motswako. Yes. Prof, back to this Setswana thing. Double HP, despite rapping in Setswana, had massive crossover appeal. You heard him across radio stations, from the English medium ones to the PBS ones. What was it about him that allowed him to appeal to South Africans, not just across races, but he also appealed to the older demographic? I remember watching him when he took part in Strictly Come Dancing all those years ago, and people of my mother's generation were rooting for him despite the fact that he couldn't actually dance.
You know, we shouldn't forget that Jabu grew up in a musical family. His mom and his dad were, you know, musically inclined, especially the mother. So that's where he gets it from. That's why it's so easy for him to, you know, select beats that will be so appealing to both the young and old. The soulness of it all is there, and you have to attribute that to his moms, you know.
What did his success mean to you as a friend, Max-Hoba?
Man, it was a marvel to watch, actually. I remember when we did Harambe, we recorded Harambe, and on the same night we went to go perform it at Huzu, you know? And I think we had to perform it 3 times on that one night. And the following day it debuted on YFM, and things changed. And I got to see how the world was accepting and loving Jabu, and because of his persona and his personality, he's a lovable guy, you know, and it was easy for people to relate to him, and people started looking at it as like, okay, so this rap thing is not really that bad. These guys are not thugs, these guys are not, you know, and the more, even after I had left and went to start my solo career, seeing him blossom and boom that much, it only just affirmed everything that we kind of knew, because Jabu to us, he was great, you know what I mean? He's always been great. You knew that he's going to make it. It's just a matter of time.
Did he always know he was going to make it?
Nope. Like my conversations with him, he would be like, hey, Joakisho. He was too much of a perfectionist and correcting himself all the time, you know what I mean? But once it pops, he would probably wait for somebody to say, Imana, that's the one. You know what I mean? But he was always a person that kept working on whatever he had.
And what was his creative process? I know it differs from one artist to the next.
Yeah.
And Prof, maybe you can also come in here. How did it start? Did he start with the beat and then write to that? Or would he come in with the writing done and then find a beat that worked with that?
At times, with certain songs, you know, he would come and say, Ejo, I've been thinking of A, B, C, and D. I don't know if we can find a beat for this. We got something, so. And those are the songs that you find that they were the most conscious. And they were some of the songs that you won't really hear on the radio, but when you go and listen to the actual body of the album, that's when you realize, hey, this guy, he meant business. And some of the songs, you get a beat, like we go to studio with Tasso. Tasso has a lot of material with him. And some songs are written in like an hour, some songs are written over a month. So it was never like the same process over and over. Yeah.
And we actually do have some of Double HP's music that we want to play for those of you who may not be familiar with the hip-hop genius that was Jabulani Tsambo. Take a listen.
When we pass time, what we do like, it's just that beat that I like to play. Another light of day.
Got your vest on the back. Oh, my fresh to death for the track. Check it. Online making muñeque. Tweet back. All the Facebook on tag it. Antola at the back of the quantum. Lungs filled up, kicking rhymes like thunder.
And that was the man himself, Double HP, as we pay tribute to him tonight here on Tonight with Jane Dutton. And as that track began playing, Max-Hoba, the three of you immediately started dancing. You all reacted at a very emotional level. And from that song, you hear just how his music evolved over the years. Was that something that he was conscious of? And I want to start with you as the younger one here, Lection. Did you, in following his career, pick up just how he was constantly reinventing and rebuilding?
Yeah, you know, but he was, most of the times he was so concerned, like, do you think I should trap? And I was like, you know what, whether you trap or whether you stick to your stuff, you'll forever be Double HP on a beat. It doesn't matter what the beat is, or whatever. Whatever you jump on, you'll forever be Double HP, and the fans will follow. You know, nobody's going to say on Salah, no, we want Kwaito only, we want you to rap on the upbeat. You know, so that's what I kept telling, whatever you jump on, I think we're going to love it. And that's what happened. The music that he made now, like the EP that he dropped a couple of days ago, you know, it's nothing like the music that we know, but it still works because it's him on it. The concepts work, everything works. The singing, you know, the harmonies, everything is perfect, you know. So
Prof,
yeah.
How did he feel about the decline of Motswako in its original state?
And Jabu is one person who never wanted Motswako to go away. You know, it's the foundation. So he always worried about it. I mean, there are times he'd send me a message, talk about something regarding the music, and I always used to say to him, hey, don't sweat the small stuff. Because I remember when I was going through something, he gave me that book to read. So I always reminded him, it's like, you'll all work out, don't worry. You know, it's a changing phase. Whether we like it or not, the new generation is going to come, and they're going to take their own route. So, and he was comfortable in his own skin, although he didn't at times want to, he never wanted to follow what was hot. Jabba was always Jabba, you know.
In a moment, we're going to continue our tribute to the late Double HP. Stay with us.